and Happy New Year. Woo! I am so excited it's 2021. I am sure everybody else that's watching this is excited for the new year. So I just want to give a quick update about what's going on here. I'm trying to do fun stuff on the internet. I want to share my art. I want to goof, have fun, entertain you. That's all I want to do. And I go through phases of being really productive and not productive. Really want to try to consistently upload as frequently as I can on this channel, and I'm going to make this a more of a lifestyle blogging channel for the time being, because we know how YouTube and the algorithms work. I do have separate channels which I will introduce at the appropriate times for certain subjects. However, I just wanted to go forward and experiment and make this a little bit of a variety channel thing until I figure out what works for me and what I like to do. But to start off this new year, I really wanted to talk about how great 2020 was for me. I know 2020 was a fiery pit of despair for most people, considering the pandemic and just all the hardships that resulted from it. And I just want to talk about a few things that I'm very grateful for. So firstly, of course, I did not get sick from coronavirus. I don't know if I was ever infected with it, and I didn't show any symptoms. However, I worked very diligently to wear masks and be wise about my choices going out. I did my best. Number two, I got a third cat this last year that my young girl cat picked out from the wild, and his name is Claude. And because of the pandemic, I wouldn't have my boy Claude, and he is such a darling. I love my cat, my new cat, so much. Long story short, where I live, snowbirds abandoned their 1-year-old cat during the pandemic. I knocked on every single door in the neighborhood. My little girl cat Jackie kept bringing Claude home. He became ours. So she chose her friend. And speaking of cats, here's Captain Hook. He just busted the door open to say hi. I love you, buddy. Thirdly, I managed to remain employed. And long story short, without divulging too much about my professional life, I basically had the most non-essential job on the planet. I worked really, really hard proving that I'm still useful and can do work. And I received a very, very hard-earned promotion, and I have like other non-pandemic work that won't crumble under harsh times, so to say, within this company. So I'm very, very happy. I really enjoy my new position at my job. So that is awesome. It really saved me, the fact that I was able to work, and I'm eternally grateful to the people that I work for keeping me around, in addition to giving me more opportunity. That was the best thing that could have happened to me last year. And because of that, well, I was planning on getting another car beforehand, but I took a week off of vacation. I have a really old car I've been driving for 10 years, and it just costs too much to fix it. So instead of spending like a couple $1,000s on fixing kind of a junky, crappy car I don't even want, I put that on a deposit to get a newish car. It's a couple years old, but it's phenomenal. I'm so glad that I bought like a used, like newish car, and I'm so happy. I feel safe and comfortable. That's one thing that I was doing it whether or not I got promoted, but when I came back from a vacation after I purchased a vehicle, I got promoted, yay! So that is like perfect. It's the best case scenario for myself. Next big thing I'm really grateful for of 2020 is that I got my crap together and I started a regular fitness routine, which since I have fallen off a little bit with the holidays, but that's gonna be the next point of awesomeness. So I've been consistently exercising. I've been working on things that work for me. I could exercise at home, or I can go out to the park kind of thing. I'm not gonna be at a gym for a little while. I don't want to plan on doing that yet. It just costs money, and I just don't know how people are distancing and acting appropriately at the gym. I don't want to do that quite yet. But lastly, despite kind of saying I've been good about Corona and whatnot, long story short, I was really, really blessed. I have not gone on an actual vacation in almost 5 years, and I had an opportunity to go to Alaska for almost 2 weeks, spending just a very small amount of money going, and we got to see some family. And I've never been to Alaska before, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And of course we weren't going to be idiots in our travels. My boyfriend and I, we were making smart decisions, and also Anchorage, Alaska was on tight shutdown, so even if we wanted to go to the city, there was not much to do. But I got to go on like the first vacation in almost 5 years. It was about 4.5 years ago. I went to Austin, Texas, and I got horribly sick on that vacation, so it wasn't even a vacation almost. Like, I was just sick in the hotel room with all this money I spent. So now the big thing, my resolutions of 2021. Oh my God. The thing with going to Alaska and the stress of the holiday season, I did fall off the bandwagon on some really productive and good things for myself. One thing I want to learn this year, I'm not gonna go full hardcore into these areas, but I do want to learn more and apply them to my life to be more at peace. I really want to learn more about stoicism and minimalism, because I think these practices in my life will truly make me feel better. So I've read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius a couple of times, and I recently read it back in December. It just kind of reinvigorated me, and just like the concept of minimalism, I've done a little bit of dabbling, and I'm not gonna be like I have a lot of junk you could probably see on the shelf right here. I'm not gonna be getting rid of everything I own, but I want to continue evaluating what I have and what's necessary and what I need to be comfortable and happy, I guess. And of course, I feel like everyone always says they want to lose weight. I don't really have a goal per se, as in pounds, I guess. I don't know. I don't like looking at the scale, because I feel like there's certain measures of health that don't really mean anything. I'm a little pudgy, can't see in this shot, but I feel like with going on my trip and just being so busy, not sleeping all of December, I fell off with some exercising, and I literally just started working out again today. So I want to continue, obviously exercising and eating healthy. I'm really exercising because I do want to just make sure that my body's healthy, and I don't want it to be 10, 20, 30 years from now and feel old and crippled because I didn't take care of my body. Just muscle and having some sort of muscle mass as you get older is really important. I don't want to lose that because I'm at an age where things start going downhill. I don't want things to go downhill, you guys. This ties into fitness a little bit. I want to continue eating well. I've been progressively eating more and more healthy over the last 3 or 4 years since I graduated college, and I want to maintain a good lifestyle. I guess it kind of ties in with the last one. Like most people with their diets and whatnot lack certain nutrients, and I want to keep my energy levels up by eating well, in addition to taking supplements for things that I'm not getting through food. So that's another aspect, is learning more of the micros and macronutrients that I need for my body. And this one is a really, really hard one. I want to let go of my inhibitions and be able to have guilt-free relaxation. That's so important, because part of my own mental health is not being able to relax, because I feel like every moment that I relax, I'm not doing things that I want to do to progress my personal goals and future. Yes, I do have this excellent, amazing job, but I also want to take control of my own career path and create things and be self-employed one day. I'd ideally love to be self-employed or work with small businesses. I've learned the hard way that I do need to chill out. I really, really need to chill out, and I don't, and I do try to chill out, and I get kind of stressed out, and it's just a whole loop of things, and I'm sure everyone feels this way, but I need to force myself to relax, to reset myself at least a couple times a month. This seems kind of ridiculous, but I started practicing piano in the last couple of years, and for Christmas, my boyfriend is so sweet. He got me a bass guitar for Christmas, and he has a lot of instruments, and I hate borrowing his stuff, and he finally got me one for myself. I'm very, very excited. So my goal is to at least practice 100 logged hours of piano, and also start integrating bass guitar, which I've literally been wanting to learn and get really good at for over 10 years. I don't know what my bass goals are quite yet, But I know my piano goals, which I can go into depth later, but I really want to continue practicing instruments and singing too. So I studied Japanese in college for a couple of years. I don't have a degree in it, but I have a couple years under my belt, and I actually was supposed to go to Japan this last September, and because of COVID and everything, I'm rescheduled to go towards the end of June, so I'm so excited to go. However, I did some studying with one of my classmates from college last year, and I want to pick that back up, just be really proficient enough to navigate Japan, which I'm sure I am at my current level of speaking, and I want to get better, and even after I come back from Japan, I still want to keep studying and get better and better and better. It's such a phenomenal language. I think it's super fun to learn, and it's challenging, but in all the right ways. So this one, of course, everyone has this on their list, but considering that, hey, I'm going to Japan in like 6 months, I want to say I want to eliminate some debt. I don't think I'll be able to close one of my accounts, which would include my vehicle and various student loans, but I really want to minimize my debt because I know I won't be able to get any of them to like zero by the end of the year. So aside from saving money to go on my trip to Japan, I really want to like chisel away at probably what I would consider my worst debt and whatnot. So I think that's kind of everyone has a money resolution, I guess, and that's mine. I want to fix the home that I live in, which does require more financial stuff. It's super complicated to get into, but my house has been struggling for a few years, and long story short, I live in Florida, and Hurricane Irma has caused an awful lot of problems that I can't keep up with, but I'm coming up with a plan and a solution to ensure that my house doesn't fall apart. It's not falling apart, but it's just getting worse, and it needs to get done. He's still here. You're still here, buddy. This one's about him, Captain Hook, Jackie, and Claude. My big initiative is... Oh, really? My big initiative is transitioning my cats to a raw diet, which when I researched owning a dog or a cat a few years ago, before I adopted him, I always had this mindset that I do want to have my animals eat raw. It costs about the same amount of money in the end as it would with some fancier wet foods, but overall, just giving my cats better quality dry food to transitioning them to eating more and more wet food in their diet, just their overall health has drastically improved, let alone think about once I get them transitioned to raw, like what is their health going to be like? It's going to be even better, I imagine. So I'm doing very careful research. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of raw, but if you really use your noggin, it makes sense to give your carnivorous and omnivorous animals some sort of raw food diet. So that's something really important to me, and I've noticed the changes giving them better quality food. It only makes sense to work through getting them into raw by the end of the year, which I think I can make happen. And lastly, I feel like, again, this is something that's really popular with everybody, but I want to continue striving towards living more eco-friendly. This would involve clothing purchases and how I buy storage items. I want to get rid of plastic bags officially this year. I want to get rid of plastic wrap, that sort of products. I've always been pretty eco-conscious growing up. My parents really hammered in my head recycling, recycling, recycling. I'm so crazy about recycling. You can ask anyone I know. However, I'd ideally like to learn how to compost. I know there's different ways and methods and ways to store your food to compost. However, I do want to go step by step every month, making little changes or trying different products or things to be better for the world. Well, that's it, everybody. That is my 2020 was good for me, and let's make 2021 even better speech. I will hopefully see you guys in the next week or so, and I'm gonna figure out my rhythm and things I'd like to create. So now I'm gonna focus more on lifestyle, bloggy kind of stuff, and create other avenues to make different types of videos, which I'm still working on, but I really want to put myself out there, do good for myself and the world, have some fun. Really importantly, have some fun and learn things. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! You're just gonna lick yourself? That's kind of rude. Nobody even knows who you are.